time, just 10 or 15 minutes. Interestingly, you see the students who had submitted their questions, these many questions they have asked. It's a large number of questions, but unfortunately most of the students have left because of the delay in the whole schedule. So anyhow, I'm just trying to wind up the whole session, and from Swami Vivekananda's brilliant ideas, which we have heard from eminent speakers, the different angles. Finally, let me just come to pure spiritual side of the whole discussion. I'm seeing that now students have gone, now devotees are sitting here, and devotees would like to hear something about our goal of human life, which is our devotion to God, bhakti for God. A little while ago we heard a beautiful song sung by Swami Kripakirananda Ji Maharaj. जो प्रभु को भजे सदा वो परम पद पाएगा, वो परम पद पाएगा. And this sums up everything that we are actually talking about aspiring for. जो प्रभु को भजे सदा, every word is important. One who remembers God always, वह परम पद पाएगा, वह परम पद पाएगा. He will attain that supreme goal. Now, many questions are there now connected, especially some few students. Their questions have been related to religion. What is the goal of human life? The goal of human life is to realize God in one sentence. This human life is absolutely futile and meaningless if it is not dedicated to this great pursuit of realizing God. Further, some questions are there. What do you mean by attaining God? Especially, I'm answering these questions to a few youngsters sitting here. What do you mean by attaining God? It simply means experiencing God. Third point, what do you mean by experiencing God? Experiencing God means experiencing one's own true self, because God is not a second entity separated and distinct from our own true self. This is what our great Vedas and Vedanta teaches. It teaches us that in each one of us there is a center of divinity. You see, we all have this body-mind complex. We have the body, we have the mind. This is destructible. Is this going to last? To all those who are sitting here, young boys and girls, it's only a matter of time before this body will grow old, it will become dilapidated, it will be sick, and finally it will disintegrate and one day meet with death. It is inevitable. This body is destructible. It is not going to last. But the great rishis have discovered just behind this body and beyond this body, let me use these two terms, behind this body and beyond this body, there is one dimension which is presently not known to us. It is that dimension which is referred to as Atman. I'm using certain terms. See, when we talk about God, several ideas begin to rush in our mind. We imagine God in so many ways. It's good. Initially, it's all different kinds of imaginations. It's good imagination. But what do we actually mean by God? Actually, by God, what is meant is this Atman and Atman alone. which is the center of divinity inside everyone, every living creature, not only the human beings. Now, this is the great teaching of the Vedas, that everybody is essentially divine, potentially divine. Is the potential divinity which Vedanta talks about. Outwardly, on the surface, you see, I am seeing different structures, psychophysical structures, is it not? You are looking at me, you are seeing one psychophysical structure, different dimensions. Somebody is lean and thin, somebody is tall, somebody is fair, somebody is dark, different. Somebody is attractive, somebody is not attractive. All this and all of a vivahara is going on based upon the surface view of the human beings. But beyond and behind the so-called psychophysical structures which we are seeing, there is one center of divinity which is same in everybody. It is that center of divinity which is referred to as Atman. Now see, God is not someone who is sitting up. Now these are different ideas you will find in different religions. Somebody will say that God is sitting beyond the clouds. In the heaven there is a being sitting there and he is ruling this world from there and we are all at his mercy. And what is the goal of life? After that we will be going to some heaven and meeting that person, and that person decides whether you are going to go into eternal hell or whether you are going to attain eternal heaven. Heaven and hell idea. Now these are all so-called different ideas which are not verifiable. We believe in them and we spend our life only in blind belief. But what Vedanta and Vedas teach us? They teach us that God is not someone who is sitting above, beyond the clouds, in a heaven. He is not a person. What Vedas talk about is this entity which we are referring to as God is nothing but our own true self, which is right here, right now. Not after that. It is not that after that you are going to go somewhere and you are going to meet some person there. That is not the ideology of the Vedas. Vedas teaches that this entity that we refer to as God, it is realizable. It is verifiable by anyone, anywhere, at any point of time. Everybody can experience it. This is the beauty of the so-called great Hindu dharma. Now what I am talking about is the pure core of what we are knowing to be Hindu dharma. Unfortunately, most of the Hindus, they themselves don't know about this. And Vivekananda came to make them understand what true Hindu dharma is. What is the true meaning of God and God realization? God realization means nothing but self-realization, knowing one's own true self. So everything will boil down to one question, especially to the youngsters I tell this. We need to ask one question to ourselves. Who am I? What is the meaning of this pronoun which we use in our day-to-day transaction, which is the very basis of our transaction? There cannot be any transaction without the use of I, is it not? See, I am talking. I will go here, I will go there, I do this, I. Everything is hovering around this one thing called I. But no one knows what is the true meaning of this I. The whole search is for the meaning of this I. The day we discover the true meaning of I, all the problems will come to an end. And that will be the discovery of that entity which we are referring to as God, Ishvara, Bhagavan, no matter what words we use. Now this is purely science, just now as Sri Nandan was talking about. It is pure science in our country, in our culture and this sabhyata, this civilization. Science has got two dimensions. One is physical dimension, other is non-physical dimension. Through physical dimension and empirical sciences, we discover the different so-called things of the physical realm. But beyond the physical realm, beyond the non-physical realm, is the other dimension, which is also a science. That is why Vedanta alone can become the so-called future religion of humanity. or which can become the universal religion. Swami Vivekananda has given a couple of lectures discussing this issue. This is the only system, because it is pure science. It can be verified by anyone, anywhere. So this is what Swami Vivekananda sums up the whole thing. He says, each soul is potentially divine. Every sentence is important, so beautiful. Swamiji is saying that, see, he is referring to you, me, all of us. Every soul is potentially divine. What a beautiful utterance. Let me tell you one thing. Do you think Vivekananda has spoken anything new? Absolutely not. He was only retelling what the great rishis of the Upanishads had discovered. He was the greatest reteller of the wisdom of the Vedas. And this is what is the teaching of the Upanishads. Upanishads teach us that every soul, every individual, every man, every woman, every boy, girl, small children, every animal, every living being is potentially divine. That Atman is there inside. It is only waiting to manifest. And it is only the degree of the difference in the manifestation which makes a difference between one person and the other person. Why do we find some people are so powerful? What is that secret of power which we find in Vivekananda? What is the secret of that? The blazing manifestation of Atman. The more this divinity manifests, you will see the whole personality of the person changes. So the secret lies in manifesting this hidden divinity. That's why Vivekananda says each soul is potentially divine. The goal is to manifest this divinity, which is hidden now. And there is a way to do it. How do you do it? How do you do that? By controlling nature, external as well as internal. Here comes the great science of Atma Sanyam, character building, everything. Man making, all these different things which we have in Sri Nandan was talking about. It is all nothing but the practice of self-control, Atma Sanyam, bringing about some kind of a restraint at the level of the senses, bringing about some kind of a restraint at the level of the mind, emotions. It's all the science of restraining oneself. The more you restrain, the more you conserve energy. And the more you conserve energy and then focus that energy inward towards the Atman, you see what wonderful things are waiting to happen. You can see the tremendous power which is waiting to just manifest from what is within each one of us. So Swamiji says each soul is potentially divine. The goal is to manifest this divinity which is inside by controlling nature, external and internal. You can do it either by Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Jnana Yoga or Dhyana Yoga, one or two or all of them, and become free. Mukti. What a beautiful thing it is. Moksha. You know, this is the central message or the goal of human life is to become free from bondage. Tell me, can there be a single human being who will be satisfied in a state of slavery? Is it possible? Any living creature, what to talk about human beings, even an ant, even a dog or a cat would not like slavery. It will try to break away from it. What to talk about human beings? So the goal of human life is to break away from this bondage, the bondage to material things. Our body is material. Our soul, Atman, has got as if bound in this material cage of body. To break away from this is the goal of human life. So many people, many of these boys have asked this question, Swamiji, what is religion? What is the meaning of religion? This is what is religion. Swamiji says, you do Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Dhyana Yoga, you practice all these things and become free. This is the whole of religion.